Since we are talking about heredity and inheritance, so let's talk about more of its concept. First, let's understand some of the common factor that is needed to be understood when we understand about heredity and inheritance. First is character. Character is observable traits. Yeah, character are observable trait. Observable trait that I'm trying to say. So these are the character. What is character? It is observable. Whatever trait that you have, it is observable. That's it called character. And after that, what is trait? That's a big question. You given that in the definition, what is a trait? Traits are the character inherited from the parent to the offspring. Now after that comes some more thing. Factor was given by Gregor John Mendel, and these factors, what are they? So these are unit of heredity, and these are the things which are responsible for inheritance and expression of given traits. So these are factors. Similarly, when we talk about various other stuff, same as factors, what we come to know that the similar in Gregor John Mendel gave us factors, but currently we know genes. Instead of factors, we use the term genes. So what are genes? Now genes are segment of DNA which are responsible for inheritance and expression of a particular character. Similarly, we have something which are known as alleles or allele morphs. What are alleles? And this is one of the thing that we are going to talk about lots, like alleles of this, alleles of that. So first, let's understand what is exactly allele. Now, allele is a type of allele is an alternative form of a gene. This is what an allele is. Allele is an alternative form of gene. What does that mean? If there are various variation in humans, right? So when we look at each human, not everyone is same. For example, height. One is super tall, one is super short. So there are two types of the same height. The genes is the same. They both have the tall, they both have the height gene. But in reality, they do not have the same height because of the alleles difference. These two person have the same gene with contrasting alleles. This is what we are needing to know, and we are knowing that as well. Now after that comes dominant and recessive. Now these he the major factor which was responsible for such a great success for Mendel was that he gave the concept of dominant and recessive, which was very important back then, and today's date we still use it. We use that term to classify color blindness, classify sickle cell anemia, and many more other things. So it's a very important concept as well. So when we are talking about dominant, so what is a dominant? It is a specific allele when in heterozygous, because dominant and recessive only occurs in heterozygous. In heterozygous, the alleles that expresses itself and under the presence of another allele is called as dominant. Or in other word, in F1 generation, the allele that expresses itself is called as dominant in heterozygous condition. Then what is recessive? Just contrary to that. For example, the sentence states like that in heterozygous, the allele that cannot express itself under the presence of different allele is called as recessive. And recessive in other word could be called as the alleles that are not present, that are not expressed in F1 generation, that is the first filial generation, are called as recessive. So these are the basic concept that you should know. Similarly, there are genotype, phenotype. So we are going to talk about that. First, phenotype. Phenotype is nothing but the physical appearance, external appearance of an organism. So for a particular traits as well, right? So genotype is the external appearance of an organism for a particular trait. For example, tall or height, taking that in consideration. Height is the genotype, not the genotype, it's a phenotype. Tall, dwarf, these are the phenotypes. On contrary, genotype is the genetic makeup or internal genes makeup, gene structure inside the organism. It is called genotype. For the similar condition for height, the genotype could be TT for capital T and small t. Capital T to capital T for tall and too small t for dwarf. So this is genotype, phenotype and all. Some concepts, some common terms are still remaining. We will consider them in the upcoming week. Thank you.